Welcome. For today's yoga class, you may like to have a blanket or a cushion and a couple of blocks or books handy. If you have a blanket, you might like to fold it over on itself a couple times and then once or twice more, leaving space for your feet to rest. So you create a little cushion and then sit your sitting bones on the elevated part of your blanket, bring your feet to the front porch, and then come forward on your sitting bones and take your shoulders back over your hips. If you need to wiggle around, do whatever you need to get comfortable and find a steady seat. Bring the chin towards your chest and slowly roll the left ear over the left shoulder. And then chin comes back down towards the chest and roll right ear over right shoulder. And slowly back through the center, over to the left, pausing anywhere that needs a little extra release. And over to the right. Slowly bring chin back towards the center and lift up through the crown of your head. Bring your left hand by your left side and sweep your right arm up and over to a seated moon pose. And back to center. Right hand to the right side, left arm reaches up and over. Take a full breath. Inhale, rising back up through the center. Twist to your left. The right hand finds the outside of your left knee, nice and tall spine. Look back over the right shoulder. And then inhale, bring your left arm across the body to the right knee. And then bring your right hand behind you. Inhale, nice and tall spine. And then gaze back over the right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Both hands behind you, fingers face forward, maybe hands on blocks. Lean back onto your palms. Lift your chest, lift your chin, little back bend. And then walk your hands forward. Rest your forehead towards the mat and let your head and neck go. As you're ready, make your way into a tabletop position. You might like to keep the blanket for cushion under your knees, or you might move it out of your way now. Remember to find your knees directly underneath your hips and your wrists directly beneath your shoulders. Getting a nice flat back tabletop means a flat table so that you can rest something on it. And then arch your back like cow and round your spine like cat. Inhale, arch the back, look up. And exhale, push and round, chin towards chest. Again, use your breath, inhaling to open the front body. And exhale, push the floor away as you bring your chin in towards your chest. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Good. Now find that neutral spine again. Right leg reaches back. Maybe the left arm comes forward. And then release the left hand and right knee back to the mat. Switch sides, left leg back. Right arm forward. And release the right hand and the left knee to the mat. The left arm comes out to your side and then sweep it underneath your body and across for thread the needle. You can rest your left shoulder and temple towards the ground. And keep pulling your left hip back in space. So your hips are square, your feet are parallel. And take a few breaths. As you're ready, reach the left hand back to the mat and the right arm out to the side. Thread the right arm underneath the left, resting on your right shoulder now. Right temple. And pull your right hip energetically back in space. Taking a few breaths. Conscious breaths. And slowly plant your left hand in front of your gaze and take the right arm out and up and back to the mat. From here, you might like to have blocks for your hands, or you might plant them right to the ground. Finding your Hasta Bandha, your hand lock. We'll tuck the toes, lift the knees, and send your hips back and up. Push all four corners of both palms into the floor or your blocks, and then lift to your tiptoes and lower the heels down. Inhale, tiptoes. Exhale, heels down. Inhale, tiptoes. Bend the knees, send your sitting bones high, and then release your heels a little bit more. It's okay if they don't touch the ground. Good. Very nice form. And then slowly we'll make our way to the top of our mat into Uttanasana, forward fold, however you want to get there. You can move the blanket out of your way, you won't need it now. And then bring your feet parallel at the top of your mat. Let your head and neck hang heavy for a moment. And then roll up into standing Tadasana. Shoulders down the back. Move into our Sun Salutation. First, just ground into your feet, into the moment. Notice any shifts in your energy already. Your next breath in, take a big circle with the palms, bring them together overhead and fold over your knees with a generous bend. Inhale to lengthen halfway, hands towards your knees or thighs, and exhale, fold again, maybe hands to blocks. And you can bring the blocks with you or plant the hands to the mat as we step back to a plank pose, and then lower to your knees, your chest and chin, or remember you could just take a cow pose instead. Shoulders back away from your ears, tops of the feet down. And then lift a little higher and release. Tuck the toes, send your hips back and up. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You'll use a breath in to look forward towards the top of your mat. And you'll use a breath out to walk yourself forward to forward folds. Breathe in, hands to knees, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold again. Good. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Reach the arms out and overhead. Palms collect there. Look up. And then bring it into your heart. And again, inhale, arms reach overhead. Look up and bring yourself back through a forward fold. Inhale, lengthens your spine halfway, and exhale to fold. Bring the blocks or leave them behind as you step back to a plank pose. Back of the mat. Lower your knees down and then lower your chest, maybe to Cobra, maybe just to cow. Inhale to arch the back and exhale to tuck your toes and press back through table or plank to downward facing dog, taking a full breath here. Inhaling to look forward towards the top of your mat, and then using your exhale to walk yourself forward. Lift halfway on your breath in, and on your breath out, fold. Press firmly into the feet to rise up, reach up, look up between the hands, and exhale, hands to your heart center. Good. Inhale, arms extend, and exhale, swan dive, chest open to fold forward. Breathe in, lift halfway, crown of the head forward, tailbone back. Exhale, fold again, bend the knees a whole lot, plant your hands, and then step your feet back to high plank. And lower gently through your knees to your chest and chin, or just a cow. Inhale to lift the chest even more now. Lift your chin. And exhale to roll back down. Push yourself back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hips to the sky, heels towards the ground. Inhale. Come up to your tiptoes. Bend the knees, send the sitting bones high. And slowly come forward into Uttanasana at the top of your mat. Lifting halfway on a breath in, fold on a breath out. I like to bob the head here, up and down, side to side, and up and down again. You could hold opposite elbows or wrists, and then maybe you bob a little more, and then roll up into standing mountain Tadasana, shoulders down the back, palms together in front of your heart center. Shift the weight into your right foot, and then come to your left tippy toes. Lift your left knee, and take the left knee into your hands. Keep your chest open, hips square. You can use a wall or a chair here, remember. And then release the left foot down. Shift the weight into your left foot, come to your right tiptoes. And then as you're ready, maybe you lift that right knee, maybe even hold the right knee with your hands. Let it be wobbly, let yourself fall. It's an act of play. It's not an act of expectation. So notice your voice and the thoughts that you have when you're trying and struggling. Are you nice to yourself? Have you been kinder? Can you have some compassion? Let's bring our right hand to our heart and our left hand to our low belly. Let's take a couple breaths feeling the movement of your breath in your body. And try to get the breath to move in the belly first, and then the chest. And as you exhale, the breath leaves from the chest, and then the belly. Belly, then chest. Exhale, chest, then belly. Slowly come to your tiptoes, all the way into a seat towards your heels, and bring your fingertips behind you, coming into a seat somewhere in the middle of your mat, so you can roll back onto your mat. 13 minutes. Your feet are about hips distance, your knees are pointing towards the ceiling, and your palms are maybe facing down by your sides for more support. Curl your tailbone under and lift your hips up and off the ground. Firm your quads, firm your glutes, come high to the very tips of your shoulders, and maybe even walk your shoulders in towards one another. Lighten the grip of your toes. You might wiggle your toes a little bit, and if you're feeling really funky, you might even hold your own hand underneath you and walk those shoulders in even more. Then you can use your forearms to push yourself up even higher. Breathe into your belly, and then pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Max it out, and slowly release one vertebra at a time back to the mat. Hips are the last thing to land. Take your legs up, hands behind your thighs if you can reach. No worries if not. Just bend the knees and try to reach for the outsides of your thighs behind the knees. If you can reach easily, you might even try to take your peace fingers to your big toes. Totally optional. And then wherever you are, roll your low back down towards the mat as if there was a grape under your tailbone and you were trying to squish the grape. I don't know why we're trying to squish the grape, but it works. And then ground your shoulders, ground the back of your head, and energetically press up through the soles of your feet. If you're holding the back of your knees, can you hug those knees down towards your armpits, creating a little more hip opening as you rock gently from side to side. Allow both knees to fall over to the left side and extend the right arm out to the right. Ground your right shoulder to the mat. Prioritize both shoulders touching the ground over your knees touching the ground. And then maybe the gaze follows the right hand into our reclined twist. If it's too much on the neck to look over to the right, then just gaze up at the ceiling and try to roll the right hip down and away. As you're ready, bring both knees back to center and scoot your hips over to the left and let your knees fall to the right. Left arm comes out now to a T. Ground both shoulders. And then find the twist in the lower body, letting the knees fall more towards the right. Left palm can be up or down, whatever feels more natural. And again, the gaze can come up towards the ceiling if it's too much for the neck. Breathe into your low belly and breathe out from your low belly. Start to relax every muscle in your body. And slowly come back through the center, hips center. If we find our Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, let your knees fall out and open. And the hands can rest either on your thighs or your belly, wherever feels good. Walk your shoulders down away from your ears. Let your chin melt towards your chest, so the crown of your head is long towards the wall behind you. And watch the breath. As you inhale, belly and chest rise. And as you exhale, chest and belly fall. In that order, inhaling belly, then chest rise. And exhaling chest, then belly fall. As you're ready, extend the legs long into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Let your palms face up and out by your sides. Toes fall away from each other. You might rock the head from left to right several times until it naturally falls somewhere in the middle. Allow the mind to become spacious by releasing the clinging to your thoughts. Allow them to come and go easily. Almost like you're watching them in someone else's mind, like a third party looking in. And use this moment to take rest. You deserve it. Remaining still, you might gently awaken your senses. An option to roll to one side with your knees towards your chest before you rise into a seat, taking a moment to pause and notice how you feel now as opposed to before your practice today. No expectations, just notice. And as you're ready, come back into a seat facing the front of your mat. Sukhasana. I invite you to bring the palms to touch in front of your heart. Thank you for practicing today. Namaste.